So here we are. We're going to talk about Fast 9 from two very different fan perspectives. Now,
No, I am not a fan.
From two very different movie critic perspectives.
That's what we'll say. Oh, man.
And this is a struggle. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk about all major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and more, and reviews. And we just got back from watching F9 for the first time, and this is a very interesting one because generally Warren and I are very in sync on our thoughts about movies from whatever genre, whatever brand, whatever franchise, and the Fast and Furious franchise is where we are very divided. Very divided.
I dipped on the Fast and Furious franchise a long time ago.
He was telling me episode 4 or movie 4 was the last one he watched.
I had to stop watching. And then as soon as I saw previews for... I might have saw 5, I don't remember. As soon as I saw previews for the 6th and the 7th one and the 8th one, I was like, nope, I'm not going to watch that.
Whereas with me, I have grown with the franchise. I actually love the first and second one, which he does as well.
Yeah, I know.
And as they've gotten bigger movies,
that's where they lost me.
Warren's lost interest, and I've kind of followed through with it. I've been not a die-hard, oh my gosh, best movies ever made, but I've always
He's always talked about how much he's liked the Fast and Furious franchise, whereas I like Hobbs and Shaw.
Mm-hmm. First try.
Hobbs and Shaw, not Shobbs and Haw. Hobbs and Shaw, I don't mind that franchise. I mean, that movie right now. Mm-hmm. I don't mind that because they set the perimeter of what is happening. Whereas the Fast and the Furious started with racing cars, mm-hmm. and I thought that was really cool. And that was as a kid who was 15 at the time. Yeah, that was super cool to me. And then they just completely abandoned that and just went for these big blockbuster films that almost feel like Transformers movies at times. Mm-hmm. And to me, that they lost me with that. And then just completely ignoring every law of the world.
We'll get to that.
Not just physics, but everything.
So here we are. We're going to talk about Fast 9 from two very different fan perspectives. Now,
No, I am not a fan.
From two very different movie critic perspectives.
That's what we'll say. Oh, man.
And this is a struggle because as a diehard, I'll call myself the diehard and the anti, right? As a diehard fan of the franchise, this one didn't surprise me at all, right? I wasn't surprised by anything that they did in this movie.
Sure.
And that's kind of the ideology of somebody who loves the Fast and Furious franchise. You really have to have that mindset. That or you just have to be ignorant and think everything that's happening is logical.
Right.
And if you think that, ignorance is bliss, good for you, it's not.
Which they almost they're definitely making fun of it in this movie.
And they did.
But if you they almost are still trying to convince you. The numbers don't lie. It's
the numbers are lying.
The numbers may not lie, but they're fake and made up.
In The Office, Kevin uses a 11 when he doesn't know what number to put down.
Yeah.
But so they do in this movie for the first time kind of bring up the whole idea of luck versus immortality versus numbers versus physics versus it's a movie, get over it.
Yeah.
And that is where I think you have people who have watched the movie like Warren, I didn't say fan, and people like me who he's kind of left and decided this ain't for me, versus I'm sitting here I can appreciate the fact that it's a movie and that there are explosions and that missiles aren't as effective and that
they're not effective at all.
Can drive your car off of a cliff and magically grab the wire that's going to hold you up even though it's supported by an old beam. And then saying it out loud, it sounds really, really funny.
Did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you just said? Did everybody hear what he just said?
But that's the fun of it for me.
Did you know they went to space in this one?
They went to space, confirmed.
With a car.
A Pontiac Fiero.
Let that sink in.
So yeah, it's ridiculous. And that is where the division has to be for anybody watching this movie, this franchise. If you haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious, go watch them. Give them a go. It is a good time for some people.
I had fun.
And that was a question getting into the car, leaving the movie theater. I said, but Warren, did you at least enjoy watching the movie, or was that just terrible?
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the experience because half of it was I was making fun of it, but it was still fun. That was fun because I'm just sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like what you're saying. Like if you just accept, like going in, I knew. Like the reason I stopped watching because they're just out there. They're too much
They're not
for me.
what they used to be.
And so going in, I'm like, I know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be these crazy things, and so nothing was like, oh, that's stupid to me.
Right, because
I already knew.
At this point, if you're going to F9, expecting logic, expecting Vin Diesel not to jump from one car to the next in the air while doing a backflip, shooting a rocket launcher,
what are you expecting?
Then you're not going to the right movie. Like you need to expect that.
Honestly, I would rather just watch a movie with all that than the stupid dialogue that we got throughout the movie. I thought it was horrible. I thought it was terrible. I didn't care at all. I wasn't invested in characters' feelings. I didn't care about the relationship between Dom and Jacob. Like I just didn't care at all because the movie's ridiculous. Don't try to make me feel something serious in a ridiculous movie. Like, and I get it, family. Oh yeah, I just failed to mention the brother I've had for 30 years. Like whatever.
And that is where my opinion does differ from Warren.
He likes that stuff
because I actually have followed the family. You know, we'll call it the family, the storyline, everything going on in the background. And I actually think in Fast 9 they did a really cool job of connecting that emotional storyline. It opens up with how Dom lost his dad and that his brother was there, and you learn it was actually his brother was involved in that, and all of this different stuff that was really cool. And then they explain how Han's still alive for the third time, and all of these different connections. But I don't think they did a bad job. Is it ridiculous that they've killed Han twice and he's still not dead? Yes. I'm not going to argue that. But they explain it well. It connects well. The family storyline makes me still want to know, where is this crazy Toretto family and extended family going to end up? And as a fan of the franchise, I am still curious.
At some point in time in the movie, we're watching it, and I'm like, looking at Letty, I'm like, didn't she die? And Chris is like, yeah, they brought her back to life. And I was like,
like physically?
I was like, they brought her back to life. He's like, well, she didn't really die. And I was like, I would have walked out.
I was waiting for Warren to throw the popcorn in the air and just walk out.
Well, they're lucky, and spoiler, is this spoiler?
This is spoilers. Okay. So if you're still here.
But they're lucky I was literally going to use the bathroom, and I didn't have my tub of popcorn with me, or I was going to get a refill on my drink. When Cardi B shows up, because I would have freaking been yelling. I stopped walking upstairs, turned to Chris, and I was like, Cardi B's in this! I yelled it. I was
in the theater.
Yeah, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I don't like Cardi B at all. Like, at all. So, but that's beyond the point.
So, from the mouth of somebody who hasn't necessarily followed the story and enjoyed it, it is a fun film to watch.
I did. I called a few lines.
Yeah.
Because they were callbacks to the original, the first
the way back. They connected way back. And I enjoyed
that. And I wish they would have...
Dom's racing Jacob.
And he says, I knew what he was going to do. Jacob hit the nos before Dom did, and Dom goes, too soon, just like he did with Brian.
And that was a cool recall.
And I was like, that's cool. That's a cool little recall.
Absolutely.
But I didn't... I didn't care for the... Like, oh, Jacob, I lived in the shadows with my brother. Oh my gosh. Like,
he doesn't care about the story dialogue.
Are you freaking kidding me?
But from somebody's perspective, of somebody who does, the story dialogue is still pretty cool. The tricks are really cool. This one was probably the first one for me where they didn't show enough cars. I think up until this point they've done a really good job. Like, we're gonna need some fast cars, and they showcase all these really cool cars. They've kind of actually left that, not the racing. They left that forever ago.
I mean,
but the actual there were some cool cars in it. But if you have an eye for cars, you know what's going on. You're like, oh look, it's this, it's this. I see this. I know what this is because I know. But if you don't, there's really no showcasing of cars, which I wish they would have done more of. Because it's just like, oh, here's a really fast car. Oh, here's Helen Mirren driving what might have been a McLaren, might not have been. Like, I didn't know what that was just by looking at it.
I didn't know what it was.
And they never really show that. There's no scene where they're like getting their cars ready. They're in the shop doing. They didn't do any of that.
They did that drag race between Dom and Jacob, but
but that just cut to it and it cut it out. It was a flashback.
And that was more about story than it was showcasing cars.
Exactly.
You're right. There wasn't a lot of cars.
There was almost no car showcase. I mean, the most showcasing we got was them fixing the Fiesta to go into space. And even that didn't last that long. So definitely not enough of that for me. Because you can't leave the cars. You can leave the racing and go do international spy stuff.
They put rocket engines on a car.
They put rocket engines on a car and they sent it to space. And the numbers made sense.
I think the biggest takeaway from this is they're all invincible.
and I was waiting for that to happen. I said to Warren at some point while we're watching the movie, I said, maybe Mr. Nobody actually somehow injected them all with some type of super soldier serum, and they actually are superheroes. And that's where we're going in the next movie, is they're actually going to be X-Men. Or some type
Honestly, if they did that, I'd probably like, it's about freaking time. You just like jumped and
gave up
and like, let's just do this. You know what? Maybe start another one franchise and just call it Cars or something. I don't know.
But overall, I enjoyed the movie. There's, I think, guaranteed up to 12. So I am curious. They're actually starting filming the next two together. Yeah.
There's 12.
There's 3 more movies.
They should just stop now.
And they're filming the next 2 together starting January. Vin Diesel already confirmed that. So, I mean, if you are a fan of the franchise, there's more coming.
Yeah. Look, I'm not one to like. I don't want to like put anybody down for what they like. Chris loves these movies. I don't give him crap for it. I just, they're personally not for me. A little bit, but if you like these movies, you probably really enjoy this. I didn't hate it. I had a good experience watching the movie. It was fun. It was dumb, and that's kind of how I view the movies, anyways. Like, I don't need to go in and like watch Inception. Like, it's a fun movie to eat some popcorn, drink a drink, watch it, have fun, laugh at some scenes, watch some explosions. Like, it's cool. Like, it's definitely cool. Mm-hmm. I don't care about the dialogue,
the storyline.
I would have rather just watched a movie just with exploding things the whole entire time. They should have went bigger in space, and they kind of tried to keep it realistic, which isn't at all, but. You almost should have just like ramped the Charger off the Grand Canyon into the sky or something like that. That's honestly what they should have done. Launched like the car actually launched. I don't know.
I mean, they do make an effort to keep it somewhat realistic for the people who want it to be, but overall,
go watch you should be watching the movies.
Go watch something.
Because like same here, like going into this movie, I'm like, I know it's not real. I know it's not even like really close to real. I don't care. I kind of abandoned the franchise a long time ago.
And that's the big difference, the separation. If you're somebody who wants to watch an action movie, knows it's not realistic, there's those who watch it for a good time, eat a tub of popcorn, have some whatever snacks you get at the movie theater, and then there's people who care about the family and the storyline. Yeah. And either way, at the bottom line, you leave the movie theater happy.
Happy, yeah. I don't think you leave the movie theater in a bad mood. Mm-hmm. And I don't actually consider it Fast and Furious, so joke's on them, because I just view it as an explosion movie.
Explosion in the Furious.
That's all I see. Explosion in the Furious. Because they're just so different. But for the people who really like the movies, I think you'd like this one.
Yeah, it's definitely worth going and giving a watch. If you haven't seen the franchise because you have heard so much different stuff about it, I honestly would recommend going and giving the whole thing a watch. The timeline... And this is one of my biggest complaints about the dialogue and all the story, is it is starting to get a little jumpy. Like, I was even sitting there trying to, because Warren was asking me questions because he hasn't seen them all, and he's like, well, what's going on here? And I'm like, I honestly can't remember, because it is kill this person, bring this person back. Oh, this person's in, this person's out. Oh, Tokyo Drift number 3 has nothing to do with anything going on, but don't worry, we're going to reconnect that
don't
later.
Don't worry, the guy's in it.
So it does get a little jumpy. It is very unfluid to watch. Nobody's going to sit there and watch 1 through 9 to 12 eventually in concession.
Sounds horrible.
So it is a little bit just going all over the place, which I suppose are some of the main complaints we're hearing from a lot of the main fans. Like, oh, you've had a brother this whole time and you've never mentioned it, but you've said the word family at least 97 times,
83 times.
So definitely makes sense for me if you are disappointed in that aspect, but overall, I'm leaving pretty happy. Not my favorite Fast and Furious movie, probably not even in my top 5, but I'm excited to see what's coming up next.
There are 9. For those of you who weren't following.
F9.
There's going to be 3 more. Apparently.
I don't know how they're going to beat space. I guess the only way for me to really beat space as far as going bigger would be
Underground, into the world, fighting Kong's thing.
They're going to jump into the Marvel universe and become
don't go on my
part
universe.
of Secret Wars.
Don't go on my universe. No.
Maybe Dom is the Iron Man of...
No, go into King Kong or Jurassic
Actually,
World.
Have you heard the rumors?
Don't come to my universe.
They're talking about doing a Jurassic World, not fantastic, Fast and Furious collab.
Do that.
Or Transformers.
Go all out. Do that. So, I would actually probably watch a Fast and Furious / Transformers film.
That'd be kind of cool.
I feel like
driving
they're
Optimus
the same
Prime.
thing. They're just the same thing. I mean, you have this huge convoy with all this technology in it anyways.
None of it makes sense.
Friggin' missiles don't hurt it, so go for it. Just go all out. I'd watch that. I'd watch it just for the pure spectacle of it all.
So there you go, guys. We watched F9. it wasn't a terrible experience. Like I said, not the best Fast and Furious movie, but definitely a respectable, illogical, numbers don't make sense, I'm an immortal, flying my car into space, jumping out, missing missiles, non-stop, action-packed thrill ride that you either enjoy for the family or you enjoy for the popcorn.
Did you hear everything you just said again?
I did.
Okay.
And I'm alright with it.
Okay.
But guys, let us know what you thought about this movie if you saw it in the comment section down below, and hopefully our review helps you out just a little bit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching F9.
Okay.
Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, like the video.
Just
He's not done.
Don't let because I just don't want my opinion to affect other people. If you like the movies, go like the movies. Like, embrace what you like.
There it is.
Right? Like, just do it.
These are our opinions.
Right. And I didn't not enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed it for what it is to me. Right? If it means more to you, you're gonna enjoy it more.
I asked Warren if he'd come watch it with me, and he said, "Put a bucket of popcorn in front of me, I'll watch anything."
Not anything, but I'd watch Fast enough.
So there you go, guys. It's at least worth eating some popcorn in front of. We'll see you guys in the next one, right here on Cosmic Culture.